In the bigger picture, meditation is not only an atmosphere in which we might allow the mind to settle, in which we might inhabit the body and being more consciously, but it's also an atmosphere where we can see a kind of falling away or a subtracting out of these habitual ways of identifying with the narrative of life, with the narrative of ourself, and with the identity of ourself as someone separate from the moment, someone, bound in time and space, like the meditator that has a goal to get from this state to that state, A to B. All of that has an opportunity to soften. Maybe we do have a goal for meditation, an intention to, let's say, be more peaceful, or to be more settled, or to find our way back to that sense of being at home in ourselves. These can be goals in meditation, and yet if we identify as the one that is seeking the goal, then we can perpetuate this sense of striving and seeking and being bound in time and distance. And so I would be remiss not to return to memory one of Adya's fundamental pointers, which is when you ease out of that time-bound sense of seeking, how do you then approach meditation? And one of his pointers that I think is extremely powerful is you can ask yourself, before I go about trying to seek after peace, might I ask, is peace present here, already, now? And this is what they might say in Zen, like two arrows meeting in midair, tip to tip. And they cancel each other out, right? So we have this sense of the seeker, I need to seek, I need to sit in meditation so that I can seek and obtain peace. Oh, is peace present here already now before I go about seeking it? And so it teaches us a different paradigm that gives us an alternate to this paradigm of seeking. And as I would share about it, I would say it's a paradigm of availability, possibility, allowance, receptivity, engaged receptivity, Like if you're receptive like this, ready to receive something, but there's not much availability in your hand. Somebody gives you something, you like, you can't really catch it. But when you're there and inhabiting that open hand, you're ready. You're ready to receive, right? So when we ask an inquiry question like, is peace present already now? It requires us to step in to that receptivity. But if we're grasping, we're getting farther and farther away from peace. If we're too lax, let me see if it comes to me. And we're waiting. Then our identity is dwelling in waiting, or in let it all come to me, then there's not that engagement, that real engagement that I hope you got a feel for when I asked you at the beginning to step into kind of persona of the meditator. You can let it drop a couple minutes into meditation. Doesn't mean it won't still be in place, but you can kind of soften out of needing to be somebody like the meditator. But when you step into, like, I'm gonna take my seat as the meditator, there's a kind of receptivity that's engaged. So when you ask, is peace present here already? Now, there's that sense of being present in the now and being available, almost like a sponge that would just drink in any sense of peace that you sense in any measure. It could just be the tiniest hint of peace. But if you give your feelers, give your attention, give your consciousness to that in the midst of whatever might be happening, a restless body or mind, if you give your sense to that portion of peace, your attention, by virtue of the qualities of how attention works, will grow that peace. Because what you give your attention to grows in your consciousness, and it grows in your experience.